Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Folk Museum. My name's Andrew Fox. I'm Heritage and Museums Manager for Gloucester City Council. I'm very proud tonight that we're opening a new exhibition, The Telstar Man, the story of Joe Meek. Joe Meek, actually, I've got a personal connection. I was one of the young people who was influenced by that record in the background. I was about 10 years old when Telstar came out, and I feel a direct connection with Joe Meek. And it's such a privilege today to be able to introduce the people who are going to speak here tonight. We've got the jukebox going, and I hope you're going to have a fantastic time and go around the museum afterwards. So the order of speaking tonight is the Sheriff, Councillor Chris Witts, is going to speak first, and then Joe Meek, that would be impressive. Ken Ledger, who I think of as a latter-day Joe Meek, obviously. That was definitely a Freudian slip. Ken Ledger is going to speak on behalf of the Joe Meek Appreciation Society. It's been wonderful how everybody's come together. I'd just like to praise the staff at the Folk Museum for all their hard work, especially Sarah and Laura, who as ever have done outstanding work. And thank you very much to everybody. It's absolutely a wonderful coming together of both staff, museum and Joe Meek. And it's going to be a wonderful evening. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Andrew, and welcome everyone. This is a great evening for me too. To open the exhibition of the Joe Meek Exhibition in the Folk Museum to celebrate this great record producer from the 1950s and 1960s. I too have special connections with Joe Meek, and hearing the record in the background, for the last month I have been driving Susan back home mad because that tune has been going non-stop in the household, and she said today, please stop that record. I never got to meet Joe Meek, but I know people who did, and I know last year's Mayoress Jackie Smith is here, and she told me last week she met Joe, and my driver this evening said to me that at Longhope he was there and he met Joe and Heinz, who opened the Village Fete, and Heinz performed that evening. Now myself, a great fan of pop music in those times, and I used to travel the country going to see the various pop groups. And whilst digging out my old records and the Telstar one, I did come across my membership card for the old Cavern Club in Liverpool, which I think really must be quite valuable today, so I made sure I hold on to it. Although he was born Robert George Meek in 1929, he was nicknamed Joe by his granny, after a child she had lost. It was she who let Joe, as a boy, use a converted shed at the bottom of the garden in Newent to play with odd electrical equipment. He went on to rig up speakers in Newent's orchards to entertain the cherry pickers. Joe's early skills with gadgets were developed through working as a radar mechanic as part of his national service. He then came to Gloucester to work at the MEB, which included the use of the top range then of tape recorders, where he practiced overdubbing and splicing. He cut his first record in 1954 when he overdubbed a local band with the voice of Newark schoolgirl Marlene Williams. Now that name's been fascinating me because I've trawled the internet to see if I could trace this Marlene Williams, and I've got to say now, is she here or not? Because what happened to Marlene Williams, I just can't, I can't discover. So I think that's something else.
She married Joe's brother.
Did she?
Yeah, that's Eric's wife. Or actually, she's a widow now.
Fascinating. I must find out more because
She is actually about, but there was a cluster engagement because it's their 70th birthday.
Oh, that's a shame. That's a shame because I say by this she played a big part in the early days. Well, it was shortly after that he moved to London, and in no doubt searching the streets paved with gold, as did like our Dick Whittington. It is thanks to members of the Joe Meek Appreciation Society and countless individuals, both locally and further afield, that the Folk Museum has assembled a comprehensive range of material to give a flavour of Joe, along with items from the music collections. We are very grateful to all the people who've loaned equipment, which are very treasured, and are grateful to the number of artists too, who have permitted use of their work in new compilations of their material. And as Andrew said, it is thanks to the dedication and enthusiasm of all staff at the Folk Museum who have put together such material in a fascinating exhibition, which we hope will raise awareness of Joe Meek and his wonderful talents. We hope you will enjoy this evening and tell your friends and relatives about it, because I do understand, I think I'm right in saying this, Andrew, that the exhibition will be running for 3 months. So that's quite a time to get all your friends and relatives in to see it. And don't forget, those of you with children, there's lots of activities over the coming holidays, summer holidays, and with the Saturday clubs running from July to September. And would you believe, these range from quiff makeovers to knitted teddy boy ties. And thank you. And now I'm going to hand over to Ken Ledrun, Chairman of the Joe Meek Appreciation Society. Okay.
Thank you, Chris. Okay. Following in the wake of his worship, the Sheriff and Deputy Mayor of Gloucester, I'm pleased to have been given the opportunity to say a few words on behalf of the Joe Meek Appreciation Society, more familiarly known to us in the society as JMAS. It's a lot easier to say. Anyway, first of all, I'd like to thank all the staff of the Gloucester Museum Service for their encouragement and support of this project since the initial discussions took place with Andrew Fox and Chris Morris way back in September 2005. JMAS had for some time been seeking a venue for a display commemorating Joe Meek, and a number of possibilities had been pursued, but unfortunately these had not come to anything. When Gloucester City Council was approached, Andrew, Chris and their staff were very enthusiastic from the start in helping with the project. And it was not long before an exhibition slot had been found at the Folk Museum for the period between July and September. Since then, it has been a never-ending round of emails and telephone calls, as not only members of JMAS, but some of the many enthusiasts of Joe Meek have rallied round with all kinds of material, which you can see assembled in this exhibition. We are deeply grateful to everyone for their generosity in loaning material for the exhibition, particularly as in a number of cases it has meant cherished material going on public display for the very first time. This has also had the benefit of material surfacing that had been forgotten about or that had never been properly recorded by the individual or family. In this respect, it's often been a bit of a treasure hunt for museum staff in tracking down certain items that have changed hands a number of times or that have languished in a corner for many years. Therefore, on behalf of JMAS, I would like to thank Gloucester City Council and Chris and Andrew and all the staff at the Folk Museum in particular for their hard work in putting on this splendid exhibition and for arranging the associated activities that Councillor Witts referred to. And also would like to thank Chris and Andrew and the staff I've dealt with for being so helpful at all times. All in all, I must say that the success of this exhibition is how Joe might have viewed his own personal achievement when he started his own record label back in 1960, and who knows, may have named it accordingly. The preparation for this exhibition has truly been, and this is a terrible pun coming up, a triumph for all concerned at Gloucester City Council. We may well find over the next 3 months of the exhibition that even more Joe Meek material comes to light, so there's always the excitement of the unknown. We're not sure what the future holds for a more permanent display to commemorate Joe Meek, but by the end of the exhibition we shall certainly have raised a much greater awareness of this locally born man and his work. Therefore we hope that the exhibition will be just the start of a greater recognition of Joe